Jasper Blackwood was a man of considerable wealth. His fortune, amassed through shrewd investments and a lifetime of hard work, was legendary in the small town of Oakhaven. He owned vast tracts of land, a successful shipping company, and a portfolio of profitable businesses. Jasper lived in Blackwood Manor, a grand Victorian mansion perched atop the highest hill. Jasper was a man who kept his own counsel, known for his reserved nature and air of quiet authority. He was a figure of respect, even fear in the community. His word was his bond, and his decisions were rarely questioned. Despite his wealth, Jasper lived a simple life. He valued hard work and integrity above all else. His life, however, was not without its share of sorrow. The death of his beloved wife Eleanor many years ago had left an emptiness in his heart. He poured all his love and attention into raising his two sons, William and Edward. William, the elder son, was a man of ambition and drive. He had inherited his father's sharp mind and business acumen. From a young age, William had been groomed to take over the Blackwood Empire. He was confident, articulate, and always eager to prove himself. Edward, the younger son, was a stark contrast to his brother. He was quiet and introspective, with a passion for art and literature. Edward had little interest in the family business. He preferred the company of books and the solace of his painting studio. The brothers' relationship was complex. William, though outwardly supportive of Edward, harboured a secret resentment towards his younger brother. He felt Edward's artistic pursuits were frivolous and a waste of his talents. Edward, in turn, found William to be cold and calculating, too focused on material wealth. When Jasper Blackwood passed away peacefully in his sleep, the town of Oakhaven mourned. The Blackwood brothers were devastated by the loss of their father. A week after the funeral, the family and close friends gathered in the grand library of Blackwood Manor for the reading of the will. The lawyer, a stern-looking man named Mr. Thornton, cleared his throat and began to read. To everyone's astonishment, Jasper had left his entire estate, including Blackwood Manor and all his businesses, to Edward. William was stunned. He sat there, his face pale, his hands clenched into fists. This was not the outcome he had expected. Years of hard work, of proving himself to his father, seemed to have amounted to nothing. The only bequest to William was a small locked chest containing what Jasper described as documents of great importance. Whispers and speculation began to circulate through the manor. Why had Jasper favoured his younger son, the one who had shown little interest in his legacy? William, consumed by anger and resentment, refused to believe his father would make such a decision. He was convinced that Edward had somehow influenced their father, manipulating him into changing his will. Edward, overwhelmed by the weight of his inheritance, was at a loss. He had never desired wealth or power. All he wanted was to understand his father's reasoning. Why had he been entrusted with so much? The locked chest, left specifically to William, seemed to hold the key to this mystery. Determined to uncover the truth, William began to examine the locked chest. It was crafted from sturdy oak, its surface adorned with intricate carvings. The keyhole was small and unusually shaped. Days turned into weeks, and William's obsession with the chest grew. He tried every key in the manor, every locksmith in town, but to no avail. The chest seemed impenetrable. Frustrated and no closer to the truth, William began to search for other clues. He scoured his father's study, meticulously going through every document, every letter, every photograph, hoping to find something, anything, that would shed light on his father's decision. It was in a dusty old journal tucked away in a hidden compartment of his father's desk that William found his first clue. Section 6. The Weight of the Past. The journal, penned in Jasper's own hand, chronicled his life, his thoughts and his regrets. As William delved deeper into its pages, he began to uncover a side of his father he never knew existed. Jasper wrote of a past mistake, a secret shame that had haunted him for years. He spoke of a love affair, a passionate but ill-fated romance with a woman named Clara, a woman he had loved deeply but could not marry. Their love had produced a child he had been forced to give up. The weight of his actions, the pain of separation, had left an indelible mark on Jasper's soul. He had carried this secret with him, buried deep within his heart, for fear of hurting his family. Section 7. A Father's Secret Shame. As William pieced together the fragments of his father's past, he realized the truth. Edward was not his full brother. He was the product of Jasper's love affair with Clara, the child he had been forced to give up. Jasper had tracked down Edward years ago, watching him from afar, getting to know the kind, compassionate man he had become. The guilt and remorse had eaten away at Jasper, compelling him to right the wrongs of the past. The decision to leave his fortune to Edward was not driven by favoritism, but by a desperate attempt at atonement. Jasper had hoped to secure Edward's future, to give him the life he deserved, the life he had been denied. Section 8. The Revelation. William, overwhelmed by this newfound understanding, finally realized the true meaning of the locked chest. It was not meant to be a source of contention, but a bridge between the past and the present. He went to Edward, the journal in his hands, and shared the truth about their father's past, about Edward's true parentage. Edward, shocked and saddened, finally understood the depth of his father's love and the sacrifice he had made. Together they managed to open the locked chest. Inside they found letters, photographs and mementos from their father's past, including a letter addressed to Edward from his mother, Clara. Section 9. Justice and Reconciliation. In her letter, Clara spoke of her love for Jasper and the agonizing decision to give up their son. She wrote of her life, her regrets, and her enduring love for the child she had lost. Edward, his eyes filled with tears, finally felt a sense of belonging, a connection to the mother he never knew. He understood the reason behind his father's actions, the love and the pain that had fueled his decisions. The revelation of their father's secret brought William and Edward closer than ever before. The resentment and anger that had festered between them dissolved, replaced by a shared understanding and a profound sense of empathy. They vowed to honor their father's memory by safeguarding his legacy and building a future together, bound by the truth and the enduring power of family.